ABC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back and welcome to the weekend. It's going to be another hot weekend, and maybe next weekend another hot weekend as well. Cool fronts not in the 10-day forecast today. Everything backing up a little bit, so we have to deal with what we have to deal with. So it looks like the last 10 days, 9 days of summer, that's all we have left, are going to be hot, and the first day of fall also is going to be pretty hot. So let's take a look first off outside. Yeah, it's going to be a hot start to the Friday night football out at Vermilion Catholic here. The Screaming Eagles getting ready to go. Lots of sunshine out there. A little bit of a breeze. I always like the goalpost flag so I can see the wind direction, and not only important for the kickers but meteorologists as well. We need to know if we can get it through the uprights on the forecast. So let's take a look at the big picture, the infrared satellite imagery, the water vapor imagery, and looking at the upper level features. And we have this upper level low out here in the Gulf of Mexico. This continues to drift westward. Eventually, I think this is going to help deliver some better rain chances, certainly to Texas and perhaps our part of the world as we go into early next week. And we might even see a storm or two clip the coastal areas. Not so much tomorrow, but I think mainly on Sunday. High pressure off to the north and an upper level low still inhibiting development of now our tropical depression. We'll get to that in just a bit. On the radar this afternoon, as expected, pretty quiet, but we see one or two dots across the area, seeing an isolated dot around the Church Point area, a few other showers down in coastal St. Mary Parish, and some thunderstorms offshore out into the Gulf of Mexico, and they are generally traveling from east to west following that upper level low that we will continue to watch. A nice little flare-up of thunderstorms, and you can see that upper level low right here. Again, that's going to move westward. It's not unheard of for these to develop surface low pressure systems and sometimes become tropical in nature, but this is probably going to run out of room and head toward the Texas coast by late this weekend. Meanwhile, off to the east, that's where all the action is, east of the Bahamas, and then out in the far central tropical Atlantic. Two areas of disturbed weather, one with about a 50% chance of developing as it gets closer to the Caribbean. Too early to tell where it's going to go after that, but first guess would be the Atlantic. Then the other one has a potential for developing almost in the same area down the line, so busy yet there, yeah, and it's going to stay busy for sure. It looks like the tropics is going to stay turned on for the next couple of weeks going into the first week or two of October. Now finally, our potential tropical cyclone upgraded to tropical depression number 9. Hurricane Hunter's finally got in here and closed off a circulation. Not much wind yet. The storms are on the eastern side of this system, but now instead of a PTC 9, now it's officially tropical depression number 9. Here's the latest latitude and longitude, moving to the northwest at about 8, and pressure not too terribly low at about 1,009 millibars, so a relatively weak system, but we think the upper level winds are going to relax, and this is going to become a tropical storm by tomorrow, and then a hurricane perhaps by early next week. But the forecast track continues to shift farther to the east, mainly because the center of the low has been farther to the east than expected. Now it looks like the worst of the weather stays offshore the U.S. coast, although tropical storm watches are posted. But unfortunately, the same areas impacted by Dorian may see tropical storm force winds and some locally heavy rainfall of 2 to 4 inches over the next couple of days. So here's the Euro model, maybe a weak surface low to our west. All in all, still a very summery pattern across the region, and this system, Umberto, probably going to become a hurricane and be watched by even areas all the way up through New England down the line. Meanwhile, as we look at the high resolution NAM model, you'll see the showers and thunder showers offshore. You'll see our developing system off to the east, and locally we'll be looking at fair skies overnight tonight, and then through tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Just a slight chance of a shower, no higher than 10%. A few showers off in the northern part of the state will not be affecting us. So a quiet night ahead, warm and humid. Full harvest moon out there on this Friday the 13th. 73 the low, 95 the high tomorrow. We should be about 90 this time of year. Mostly sunny skies with your rain chance 10% or less. A slightly better chance of an afternoon shower or thunder shower, mainly along and south of the I-10 corridor on Sunday. And then getting into next week, at least the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. But notice, we do not get rid of the 90s, and instead of day 10, we're talking about a cool front. No, we're just going to talk about that's the fall equinox at 2:45 or 2:50 rather in the morning, and temperatures still in the 90s. Eventually, it will change.